Yeah, so hmm, as you can see, I got this AI which has been training for. Let me minimize it. Yeah, so this AI has been training for. It's the white one here, so it's been training for 10 hours, almost 11 hours. Um, the main thing is that it's pretty much plateaued. Um, between these, like you see, this one's going crazy. This orange one. That's because it didn't have a cooldown on how fast it could shoot the web, so it could basically just keep shooting all the way out until it hit something. It would just like poof, like suddenly teleport, and then obviously that's no fun. Like, and it would pretty much just keep fishing for them, like and then it would never try and do a legitimate run. So it would just keep like go poof, and then it would like kind of die. Even though it says it keeps living, but um, yeah, it would just like kind of fish for them. So that was like kind of lame because not that realistic. Like I want him to be constantly like shooting around like accurately, like you're in Doctor Octopus or something. So like yeah, so this one's like pretty good. Also, I changed the reward function so these aren't completely accurate. Like um, I started taking away points based on like how high you are. So if you're higher, then you get. Well, I think it's that you lose less points or whatever. But basically, the higher you are, the better, right? And then also horizontal. But so it's like how high you are is only like a tenth of it, but how far? So it's actually like delta x, right? So how far you travel in the last like time step to the right, and then it's how far upwards you are just in general, and that's your reward total, right? But also another thing is that um, the way it runs, right, is that so this is running just on like HTTP requests pretty much, which is kind of dirty way of doing it, but it was Flash. Flash is like weird, and it was money Flash. So I was like, oh whatever. This is definitely the easiest way. So I just did that. Um, and then yeah, so basically it has three outputs, which are like three continuous outputs from -1 to 1, and the first two are the x and y coordinates to shoot in, like relative to Spiderman. So then that effectively gives it an angle to shoot at, but AIs don't really like giving angles because they like loop over and stuff. So giving a vector is easier, and then I think the game like kind of finds the angle from the vector anyway. So it's like kind of whatever. That's like definitely the easiest way I think for the AI, and then the third one is whether it should fire or not. So if it's above 0, it'll fire. If it's below, it won't. So it's like a threshold, right? And then yeah. So if it decides to fire, then it will fire, and then it will wait like 10 time steps, right? It will fire. It will wait 10 time steps. So that's effectively a cooldown, right? So, but if it doesn't fire, then it will be allowed to have another chance the next time step, like immediately after. So if it fires, it skips 10 time steps. If it doesn't, then it will be able to try again the next time step if it wants to. So that means that one, you avoid that like spamming to the side, trying to just skip everything, and then you also get like all the precision benefits of being able to fire whenever you want, right? And you don't have to you can fire whatever direction you want as well, and you can fire at whatever time you want. And yeah, that's like, it's a pretty good system. And then yeah, I don't know, like it keeps messing up at the start. It's kind of weird. I feel like it should have easily just like rote learned it, if nothing else. It's pretty good at this ball part, I think. Just kind of weird. Um, I think adding more raycasts would help a lot. Like if I just doubled it, cause I'm pretty sure I can handle. Cause it's only got like 33 inputs at the moment. So if it was like 60, well not 63, what was it, 53, then I think it would be able to handle that like pretty easily. And then it shouldn't plateau so quickly. Cause like when the plateau was, oh yeah, this is it. So plateaued. So if you turn off the smoothing, it plateaued like really early on, like what, like 27 minutes? Is that what I'm saying? And it went for 10 hours. Actually, it didn't plateau, it's 27 minutes. That's the average time, so it'd be like around here. It's just like 3 hours. And yeah, it could use that time better, so yeah, I think if I just give it more raycasts, it can. Cause you see, like some of these dot things, it can't even, like it has like pretty huge like margin between it. If you know what I mean, like the angle, it's just missing it. Just can't see it. Which, considering that it's a continuous output, like that's not taking full advantage of it. Definitely not taking full advantage of it. Um, like, cause if it just can't see it, then it basically just has to assume there's nothing there, which is yeah, that just sucks. I don't think I need to make the raycast any longer. I think the length is fine. I think I just need like maybe just double them, cause yeah, if I just double them, then it'll be able to hit pretty much anything in the scene. And if it doesn't, then it's probably too far away where it wouldn't matter much anyway. Oh, still hits them. That's the thing. I don't like it doing that. Like, well, it would be fine, but it doesn't recover from them. Like most of the time, it'll go up really high, and then when it comes down, it just won't hit anything. It'll just die. Which you know, that we don't like short-term options. Um, maybe if it had more accuracy, maybe it could get away with it. If it does get away with it, yeah, I already said, but yeah, I'll be fine with that. But it doesn't. So really, I want the length to go up. Um, yeah, I don't know why the reward mean is like so average here, because the other one's like, I don't know. Did I refresh this? Oh, it's gone up a little. Maybe I should just leave this one on. No, but that's a pretty. That's the thing. It's like it's like playing Clash of Clans, man. You don't know when to just cut my losses, start a new one. You know, but come on, that it should have been able to beat that, man. That's just sad after 10 hours. Yeah, just give it like, yeah. So I'll give it 40. So that should give it 40 raycasts, and then of 9 degrees. So I just doubled that, half the angle, and then is there anything else I need to change? Yeah, these keep popping up. I make it so it just keeps opening and closing them, because there's a thing with the Ruffle emulator where it would like leak memory. So it would, if you left it on overnight, it would go up to like 8 gigabytes of usage, which the actual memory usage itself isn't the problem. It's that when it goes up high enough, it will crash. Um, yeah, it will just crash. So yeah, and then also if you just keep closing the game, then it might stop like a backlog of the HTTP requests, because you also reset the socket that receives the HTTP requests, so it will I think it like clears that backlog, so it shouldn't just like I shouldn't just like wake up and have it all crash like an hour in. Um yeah, so I need to save that. I think, yeah, it's only when you press the big save that it actually applies it, so right, yeah. And then raycast 20, that's the thing, right? Thing is, like, I wouldn't have used these variable names. This is because of the decompiler. Like, every time you compile it, and then it decompiles it. Like, when you press save, it'll compile it to it, but then it'll decompile it. So, like, I think there was a setting here that, like, um, I don't know, where, like, it would keep your variables, but then I didn't realize it until, like, halfway through. So, yeah. So this is the code for just one raycast. So I think 20 is the length, lock 5. So lock 5 is probably the counter, lock 6 is... Oh yeah, lock 6, that's the length. So yeah, that's not to do with it. Well, so is that it then? I just need to... Yeah, if you see the data, it's pretty cool at times, but then other times it just chokes, so... Yeah, so if I just make it, it's at 33, add another 20, so it's 43, 50, jeez, my maths. More of a creative mather, you know. Yeah, get my calculator out, yeah. No. Also, I just make it kill it twice, because sometimes I think it just makes like 2, so, yeah. Bit spaghetti code, but anyway, I think it's splits it automatically, so I just need to update the comment, and then I think that's it. I just need to close this model. You turn it off. It's like autosaves. Yeah, so that's me turning it off. That's the stats. Yeah, maybe it could have got better, but I mean, it was on the uptrend, but it was also on the uptrend over here, so. So if I run it now, close this, it's just left over. I think the script closes it anyway, um, even if you don't close it, but yeah. Also, I copied like most of this code. The actual environment, I made all that myself, and the modding the game, I did that myself. But this like uh, super high level code, I just copied because it's basically just stable baselines 3 boilerplate code. I didn't even know this action noise. I didn't even know you needed that, but you do. Like, you definitely need it, because otherwise it just goes to like the corner of the action space, like it'll return like 1 1 1, so it always fires in like the top right corner. But actually it's 1, negative 1, 1, because positive y is downwards instead of upwards, because it's like programming does that, but yeah. Observation by reset. Oh yeah, I forgot you got forgot I hard coded in this, which is kind of funny, but anyway. So you got this many, comma, a number that many. That should be 40, right? Luckily, I just doubled it. I didn't do any weird multiple. Yeah, that's more raycast. That's more like it actually. It actually looks cleaner. Wow. Yeah, that actually looks way cleaner. The actual accuracy, like I can increase the accuracy um of the raycast, because the way it works is that it'll just like march forward a little bit and keep checking if that point on the line is colliding, or like if that point on the line is on the object, or on like any object, right? So um yeah, at the start it's just random so it can get some memory to train off of, but I think it's, yeah, well, how many steps in it'll start actually learning. Yeah, this actually looks way cleaner with more raycast. I thought it would just fill up the screen and look ugly, but it's actually kind of cool. I might remove the background, because even though it doesn't actually make a difference to the gameplay, it might look nicer. I don't know. Because I mean, I've done that before. It's like pretty easy to remove the background, but it might look nicer. Tell me in the comments if you wanna see it without the background, or because it's kind of like a low resolution, because this game's like from 2009 or something. Um, yeah, but these actual sprites are like pretty. They're like vectors, right? Or like yeah, like vector art. So it's actually like infinity resolution or whatever, but the actual background is just a BMG, so, or JPEG maybe on there. But yeah. Also, this thing in the corner, that's the. I've just been using that to debug. Normally that's the score, but I've just been using it to debug. That's actually the distance from the kill zone on the side. See, it like decreases and then, yeah. And you see it goes negative before he dies. Yeah, I guess I can show the input variables. So the inputs, you get your, also this is kind of dirty, but yeah, it's whatever. So you got 40 raycasts, because we just changed it. Your relative coordinates, so these are all relative to the player, right? And then you would clamp it between negative 600 and 600, because you want your inputs to be between 0 and 1. And if it's more than, like, say the y coordinate was like higher than 600, then like, honestly, like, who cares, right? Like, you're gonna treat it like pretty much the same, so that's why you just clamp it, and then you don't have to mess with like trying to have like infinitely high inputs, you know, because I thought that having like infinitely high inputs would be good, but it's kind of overrated, to be honest. Like, I just clamp it and then it's way easier. It might help with that, like going up and then coming down, like maybe if that velocity, if it could tell exactly its velocity, it would matter, but I don't think so. Well, it probably would. Maybe I should increase it actually. just for the velocity, I think the normal one's fine. The maximum minimum value. So this just sorts it. So this is just like a clamp function if you've ever used a clamp function before. And then it just maps that to everything in the array. So all these values get between between negative 600, 600. And then velocity, same thing except between negative 200, 200. And then yeah, 600 is a bit more than screen height. So if it's like an entire screen height away, then like, you know, don't worry about it. Or like, you know, trace the same. And then the hand is actually just which hand, so left or right hand is like gonna fire. Like if you fire the rest left or right hand. So you actually have the first wire, which is like the left, and then the right wire, it's the right. So you know your coordinates. Well, you actually only know your y coordinates, and the raycast kind of substitute for your x coordinate, because otherwise you're basically just hard learning the entire course. So also the course keeps like the first like 14 levels are always the same, but then after that it's like randomly puts them together. So you can't really just take the x coordinate. That's like kind of lame. It is annoying, but yeah. So it knows the hand. It knows the line distance. That's just the distance from the side, like I said before, like the kill zone. And then you just add all these sorted or like capped things to the input, and then also these three just manually input because it's only the single value. And the final, you just make it into a numpy array because Python lists aren't like proper enough or whatever. And yeah, the rest of it's kind of lame. You just like make it so it works with the Flash HTTP thing, which is pretty annoying to do anyway. That's no fun to look at. And yeah, I have the two launchers even though my laptop sucks, so can't really run on the Ruffle that well on the laptop. Yeah, and you can change the height of it and stuff. That's about it though. So I had everything. I got a bunch of other files where you should see. I have like a whole nother repository. It's just like the old one. It's just full of like, I was using the Selenium and stuff, and that just sucked. I was trying to use visual input, it didn't learn anything obviously. Because I'm not patient enough to learn that. Or to let it learn and stuff. And also it's just worse, so why would I? Yeah, this is just way better. And then I was gonna use Taichi or Taichi or whatever, which is like differentiable programming, which is pretty cool. But there was no need because I figured you can just mod the game. Like literally just this one tick in the settings, because like this was all obfuscated, and I was like, I don't know what that was. Anyway, it's like all obfuscated, and then I thought I just couldn't mod it, but you just click that and then not good, and then realized all the stuff was just a waste of time. But it wasn't that wasted, but yeah, it's better now. Way better now. I think it's still worth it to get that experience for whatever. Yeah, so that's, yeah, I saved it. Yeah, I decided to just only have one window because having multiple, you have to have some like algorithm that works in parallel, and stable baselines doesn't really work with parallel environments. Actually, it kind of does. It kind of does, but like you can run A2C, but you can't run like A3C. So I was like, or like D4PG, which is like another algorithm I saw, which is like DDPG, which is the one I'm using, but it's like asynchronous and in parallel, which should be better, but I don't think it's worth, because I'd have to implement it myself, which like, I mean, I literally be, well, I have read papers before, not like properly, but yeah, I kind of look at the pictures and stuff. But I'd have to actually like deeply read a paper and like heaps of example code, and I'd be like, oh my god, like this can probably work. Like if I just left this on, I don't think I need like crazy algorithm because they're using those on like Mujo Co and stuff. Like there's no need. I don't think. I mean, I could change it, but like also because I'm closing and opening, like I feel like they'll keep having windows open. Like that's what how I said. Uh, like close it twice because yeah, because I don't trust it. But yeah, if I had multiple open, it might be a bit of a nightmare. Even though it would use my stuff properly, also it is using CPU. Actually, it's pretty decent usage. Even though I'm pretty sure it's not working in parallel, but anyway. Pretty sure it just doesn't work in parallel, but I don't know, the CPU's getting used, so... Oh, it might just be OBS actually, no one. Um, yeah, if I... GPU's getting used somehow, even though it's using CPU, yeah. Because, I don't know, if anyone knows how to use it in stable baselines, GPU, please tell me. I don't know if it'll make it that much faster. I don't think that's the bottleneck, but... Also, this frame rate's uncapped. Normally the game runs way slower. And also, yeah, it's running frame by frame. So, even though it doesn't look it, it's actually, yeah, it's running like frame by frame. Which is pretty good. So you actually do get all that precision. But it still looks good, unlike the B-hop thing I made before. This actually looks like smooth, because it is actually running in real time. It's actually running faster than real time. So that's pretty crazy. And also, it might increase the memory. Now that I think about it. So loading time is 10,000, so that's just so it fills up a little bit. This is at 1,000,000. Actually, I don't even think I got to 1,000,000 time steps. Actually, episode reward. Wait, so is that the episodes? So the actual episodes. Oh, so it's 800,000 episodes. It's not actually 800,000 time steps. So I could definitely increase the memory. I could just like 10 times it actually. So that's 1,000,000. I could make it like 10,000,000. Because it's just raycast, it's like nothing. Because normally you have to store full images and stuff. But you're just storing a bunch of raycasts and stuff. Just like a couple numbers. Compared to like a lot of numbers for an image. So actually I'll just restart it then. Let's see, it should close it. Also when if there's nothing into it, it'll like move by itself. It's kind of weird, but yeah, so it can easily store that, right? Yeah. Yeah, so I think I'll just leave this on. 9:07 Sunday, July 31st, 2022. Yeah, that top one was cheating. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That was kind of cool though that could do that, but really it wasn't that cool to look at. Oh, it kind of was, but I don't know. But anyway, this is a cool video. How long have we been going? 30 minutes? What? Oh my god. Alright, anyway. I guess I could just talk all day. Yeah, that's about it. Well, that means you have 30 minutes of this AI just running. That's kind of crazy. That'll be pretty cool to look back on like 20 years or something. Like I'll be like, oh my god, kids, remember this? I was making this cool AI stuff. This is so cool though, man. So cool, man. That's my main motivation. It's just so cool. I'm just so cool. And this is cool. Yeah. And yeah, pure dedication, man. Pure dedication. I don't know if I would have. I mean, I have failed a lot of projects with AI before. So this one actually working pretty decently is like pretty insane. And it's not an easy project either. Like in terms of game, like it's not an easy game for the AI, and I've had to like frame the like those three output solution. Like that took me a while to think about. Like I have notes next to my bed where I just like write down things whenever I think of them, because you can't waste any thought, you know. Any actual good thought, you don't waste it. Because if you just forget, then like you might never remember over the course of the project. Like, yeah, so hard to. Anyone else making AI projects, stay motivated, you know. Good luck at it. Have fun. Yeah. This is sick though, even just to look at all its raycasts. It looks impressive and it actually is impressive, you know. I was thinking of making like code bullet kind of videos, cause they get like 10 million views and shit. Like, they're crazy. But also they're just using like neat, which is like the easiest algorithm, which I've used before as well on the orbit one. But it converges like almost instantly. Like there's no payoff really. It converges within like 5 minutes, which is ridiculously fast, which can be good, but also it's basically just kind of brute forcing. Is this pausing the game? Like whenever I hold on it? I think it does like briefly. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Yeah, that's about it for real though. Yeah, leave a comment. Subscribe because you know your boy's gonna keep uploading cool shit. Uh, yeah, hit the bell because you know this stuff's never gonna be in your recommended. Funny time. I just have to end it there. What time? 30. Yeah. Yeah. See ya.